Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Factorio. This is back to the Space Age series. Let me just check my levels. That's not actually on, is it? Maybe. Yeah, that should be okay. Yeah, cool. We are live. Okay, so let's say I did a bit of work. It wasn't really work. I sort of left it running so that it would build all of the stuff that we'd been blueprinting over the last 2 weeks. Um, and then, yeah, just sort of left it running in order to fill up with these science packs. So we now have, I think it's 2,000, something like that. Yeah, 2,000 metallurgic science packs. We don't have anywhere to put them because I think I pulled the, what do you call it, rocket silo up at some point. So I don't even know where that is. I guess I should be making... What I should really do is put a little area with some bots on. And some storage, I guess. Do I want to put it in here? Oh, there's the rocket silo. Huh. For some reason I thought I'd picked it up. I was looking for it over... Oh, I had it over there before, didn't I? That's right. It was just sat here. Okay. That's what's confused me. Yes, we need an area with a few bots and some chesticles, I think. Is that what we got? Yeah, they're in the machine. And what we need to do basically is set up a logistics request from Nalvis. I cannot remember where you are. Where are you? Volcanus Express is at Nalvis. Okay. So you have quite a lot of stuff on you. But 1,000 science packs is only going to be like 5 rows. So I think that's all fine. The question really is whether I want to sort of get rid of... Do I need to bother having these requests in? Okay, let's go to Nalvis because I need to hop on this and... In fact, let's bring it back anyway because I need to hop on it for its first trip. Regardless, so let's have it come back here. It will almost, it won't run continuously because, you know, this is not a good platform design. So eventually, in particular, it will run out of the orange one. But we don't really care about that. We just need it to make a few trips. And then if it ends up sat sort of waiting in space or something, then that's fine. Because all I really want to do... I had it tick through a few of the, you know, infinite sciences. I think I did a couple of mining prods. I can't remember. But coal liquefaction, artillery, and cliff explosives is where we need to get to, which is the other point, because this request isn't just going to be for the orange sciences, which is why I think... That's the wrong platform. Which is why I think I probably need to just tweak this, don't I? So if we maybe make this 500, because I need to include... Can I do it here? Let's do it on now, this. And I'll get less confused then, probably. Power lines off, pollution off, logging off. Okay. Where did the... There it is. So this... Oh, look! We're just full of rubbish. Why are the bots not getting rid of that? And why is it all coming here? And that's all dropping down from the space one. I bet that's mean... Why are the bots... Oh, it's not in the logging network. Oh, no, it is. Huh. It's not in the construction network. But I don't see why that doesn't explain why the bots have not cleared it out. You know, why is this stuff here? Because this switches it to a construction bot request when you do this. So construction bots will dump. I wonder where these are from. Is it on? It's on trash unrequested, isn't it? So anything that's dropping down is automatically going into the trash slots. I suppose that's fine. Should get recycled, but the bots don't appear to be taking it away. So why are they not trashing stuff? Are we just out? No, loads of places for them to put it. So why are they not bothering? Oh, it looks like they're picking it up now. Strange. But yes, we need to go. So Volcanus. No, I want you to stop. I don't want you to go. Are you now drifting back? Because I need this to do the... I want this to be the one going back and forth, picking stuff up. Yes, I don't understand why that was full, but if we just add on, do I need to do it as? Because I really want a proper group. So this would be, what do I want to call it? Where are the planet icon? Here we go. So this would be coming from Volcanus and going to Nauvis. Okay, and then what it wants to bring in is 1,000. Well, let's not do an upper limit actually. 1,000 of them, and then some of the old tungsten plates and tungsten carbides. Now, plates are the one. Yeah, plates are the ones used in artillery. So we want plenty of them. And then these are used in, you know, with making those. So we want to import those really to here. And obviously that we're nowhere near because that's a Quillotech. And then speed 3s when I get to speed 3s, you know. So we don't really need a lot of that. In fact, do we need any for the time being? I think we want plenty of this though. What's the rocket stack size? Rocket capacity 250, okay. So we want that to be you know, a rocket basically. And then I guess should I bring them in yet? Yeah, let's bring them in. So we'll bring in, because really I want these on Fulgora, is the thing. To help me with the scrap and holmium. What's the rocket stack size in that? But it's only tiny, is it? Oh no, rocket capacity 20. Okay. So maybe we do... Yeah, maybe just 20 then. And then foundries. Rocket capacity 5, okay. Stack size 20. So that'd be 4 rockets. Wow. 4 rockets? Yeah, 4 rockets, okay. So maybe we just... it's going to send 20 anyway. No, it won't. If it does 1 stack. Do we do 2 stacks then? Because we could always bring... I guess I could bring Volcanus Fulgora Express here. Do it that way. Maybe if I do it that way rather than... So if we bring that to Volcanus, I'll just put a time, you know, a bonkers time on it for when I forget about it. So if you come here, And then what about my other? Where are you? Volcanoes Express. Are you? You are at Volcanoes. Okay. So, will all of that fit in? Is the question. So if we add on that group, because that's gonna be, what do they do? Rocket capacity 1,000. So that's 1 rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets, 4, 5 rockets. Okay. Okay, so that's 5 rockets to bring all that up. Okay. Because we only got 1 rocket silo, so it could take a while for this to load up. And I say I'm not actually all that fussed about getting them back to Nauvis yet. That, yeah, because I want to make Cliff... well, I do, I want to make Cliff explosive, but I need that for artillery. Yeah, so if we just manually drop some of these down, so we get rid of those. We could say 10 rather than that, and then that's an excess one. Okay, so we've got the drills. Cool. All requests satisfied. So that's good. But this might be the problem. Could I make another silo? What have I got in terms of bits and pieces? Because I don't think I brought any requester chests here, did I? I mean, I've got some. Oh no, yeah, we've got some now. I'm just wondering if we can... In fact, let's use me blueprint. See if we can't make a silo, which is in space. There we go. Yeah, not any combinators. Have we got... Oh, why have you not... Oh, because that doesn't exist. Is it decided? Yeah. So blue circuits would be missing. I thought... Oh, I've not put them in a box, look. We've got them. There's like a conceptual thing. I tried to put everything in a box that we're making over here, but clearly missed at least this one. Pop you there. Change you to that. And then you want filter. Hello, Plismontex, how you doing? I need to get better at this game. Oh. Why so? Cool. So hopefully that'll make a silo or two. Eventually. Maybe I could give it a little assist. Because I know we got loads of concrete made up here somewhere. He says. Not seeing the concrete. There it is. What was this set on? 100? That should have been 1,000. Oops. Why am I... Oh, that's because I needed to move them over, isn't it? I was going to say, why am I using a long-handed inserter? That's kind of nuts. So it'll take a while to get a silo then, if we need to make 1,000. Oh, the foundries are bonkers, so... terms of their production. Did I put the electric engines in, or is it just stealing them from the hub? I did, but there's none available. Okay. Because I think I added this between streams. I think I put all of that stuff down, but maybe not. At many points in time, I'm too bad at properly building a new factory instead of just hotfixing everything a bit. I mean, as in sort of, I never really quite subscribed to the whole. People make this recommendation of like, you know, you build a base and then if you think it's rubbish, you know, you go and build another base somewhere else. Never quite subscribed to that myself. I'm more sort of, I suppose in a sense I do, but it's like, to me it's better just to continue to expand this. It's like, you know, we built this right at the beginning of the game and I've just extended and extended it. And it's just a mall, you know, or manufacturing hub. And then I've, you know, switched to bot-based manufacturing. So to me it's a bit sort of like, well, what would be the point of ripping that up? It is serving a purpose. The only reason I'll probably remove it eventually. Oh no, we got a random brick in a furnace. I must have had some stone pollution. Is when that resource runs out, because I'd rather sort of do something else. I suppose I mean I do in a sense, but I tend to do, you know, like this whole idea of doing a green circuit factory up there. That's the type of thing I do. I tend to expand a bit of it rather than do the whole completely rebuild a new factory. And then you can modularize it, you know. You just say, right, this is my green circuit design. I'm going to build 10 of them, sort of thing. It's like I even got this. Still exists. I haven't torn this up. Yeah, I sort of say so. I don't quite subscribe to the whole, you know, go this way, way over here, find big patches and build a new base. I don't really see the point in a sense. Cool. How are we doing on power anyway? I think you should have loads of spare capacity. Solar panels are running at max though. With our turbines sort of filling in the difference. I'm just wondering if I can, because one of the good things one of the things I do like about this, because I think I've said before, I'm not massively sold on the quality thing. But if I stamp down some more solar, you know, blueprints, then in the process of making the normal ones, it'll spit out a few extra, you know, rare ones, which we can use for platforms. So, I don't suppose Fulgor Express has arrived yet. You can't tell I'm time filling. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's put a couple in there then, and then maybe do that. Leave a little bit of room. I don't know if I will be extending that or not, but we could certainly add something in here. But yeah, these patches dying off, as it were, is more likely to prompt me to rebuild somewhere else. I was kind of thinking in terms of, you know, making a better one, I suppose, is a bit more of an imperative than sort of deleting the whole. I guess partly I'm scarred as well from. There have been times when I've tried to, you know, delete my base and build a new one, and you end up with bots just trying to empty. It's one of the reasons I do all this limiting. Just trying to empty infinite iron ore out of a chest, and it just becomes beyond tedious, you know. Looks like we have used quite a lot of this iron, though. I could also scale up my Volcanos factory. It is mostly at starter level. I have to say, that is weird for me in this, and I'm not 100% sure if I fully like it. The whole thing of... if what is effectively your starter base for the new planets... you know, your... let's get this running... it's like what I've now built on Volcanos. Can probably sustain me till... you know, the end point, or as it were, the official end of the game, if you see what I mean, the win screen. And I do think it's a bit exhausting to go back and go, right, now we've got to make it a proper base. It's one of the, it's basically what the video I've been noodling away on, but don't quite seem to be able to get finished. Is about the fact that, to me, well, I suppose I'm spoiling that video really, but to me the thing, I don't really, the number goes up part of the game, you know, that is the end game, the official end game now, not just the community decided to start building mega bases. Has that not got a limit on it then? Oh, I am doing digital. Huh, that's interesting. Because I was saying that yesterday that I still do a lot of limiting via inserters. It looks like I am doing... I guess it's because I'm reading the ingredients as well. I've added it on there. Anyway, I want to do a second silo, rocket silo. Because I think one is not enough. If things are built to be extended, it is easy to extend them. I mostly do spaghetti or half bus at the beginning. You can put your old science factory in a museum. That's one of the reasons that was actually when I was doing those blueprints. That's what I kind of wanted it to be. Was like, it's all complete. You know, I want to do that series again, basically, just like building my blueprints. But it was meant to be a sort of a, you know, you could see the progression of the base from the very, very starter base to the, you know, the expanding base to the bot base, and you would be able to see all of them. They would just all be there as a thing. But every time I've then used those blueprints, I've just, you know, I've torn them down basically. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I never really go nuts on making it look nice, but I almost always leave. Do we have the rocket, or did I tear it up in this one? I almost always leave the rocket, and if I can, the debris, because it does feel like, I don't know, I suppose there's a bit of an element of why would the engineer, if the engineer's goal is to get home or, you know, send a rescue signal or something like that, why would they bother tidying anything up? I mean, they don't bother about, you know, annihilating the wildlife and filling the world with pollution. Why would they bother tidying up? You know, we get rid of stuff. We get rid of things now by throwing them into lava. You know, we don't. We're not ecological. This is why I want artillery to clear them out. Okay, I'm getting very distracted. So Volgora Express has arrived. I want to send up some mining drills and some foundries to help me out on Volgora. So we will jump up to this one when it's kind of done. In fact, I think I'm just going to pause it. So yeah, we will use this one to get over to Volgora. Oh, Canis Express, what are you doing? You should be paused. Oops. Did you get all of the stuff? So it's now got that, that, and that. We have that. Cool, so that one's ready to go, but I don't want it going to now this, dropping stuff off, coming back, and stealing all the bits and pieces for Folgora Express, or indeed taking the rocket I want to, excuse me, use to get up there. What's going on here? So, second load of foundries. So once I'm on board, basically, we will head off. I think I'm going to get the bots to... Don't really want that blueprint. I might just whack that in and I'll just... so I've got it as a reference. And then that's the surprisingly effective thingy killer. That. Demolisher killer. Seem to have ended up with some gun stuff for some reason. I'd like them plants to be a bit more self-sustained, or there should be more of a reason to expand there. That's why I love the idea of the Biolabs Everywhere mod. Free to choose your favourite home planet. Yeah, I love leaving the rocket, tidying up for more space in the factory. Factorio startup sounds on my computer. Yeah. The trouble is, though, I mean, unless you're playing, Ribbon World or some other, space is effectively infinite. You couldn't have a computer powerful enough to completely open the map up. So, and biters, although they get tougher in Space Age, artillery just deletes them all the same. It's more expensive, but... And Spidertrons with nukes, and, you've got so many easy ways of clearing out biters. But it's like, I suppose if you're having UPS problems or something like that, but there's just so much space that, I suppose that is part of where I suppose I do subscribe on that sense to, just build a factory next to the old one. But, yeah. Which isn't say, I mean, I will delete, I do delete stuff. I say it is a bit sort of like, do it when you need to, not just because it looks untidy. Is more my philosophy. So, I think that's all of the bits. I'm empty, yeah. So, we have rockets ready to go. We've not made a lot of blue circuit. I guess I did underscale this a bit. Because that's only doing 0.12, so it's 0.24. So it's effectively only half a blue circuit. Whereas they're making like 0.8 blue circuits. We could, I guess, maybe... So there are modules here now, so... Perhaps if I sort of chuck some modules in. What does that do? So it goes to 0.14. Maybe we'll swapsy that. 0.19, so that's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, I think I've underscaled the blue circuit build. I don't. Why are you growling? What's your problem? I do think on here you could. I know. I don't think it'd go down well. I don't think it'd be popular, but you could imagine some of these worms recolonising these areas, or like, I suppose the idea is they're meant to be really, really long-lived or something. Express. So then, you're not going to get extra ones being born or anything like that. Crikey, that's loud. But I could imagine at least the huge, the big ones recolonize. What's going on over here? Recolonising the area and sort of having to have some mega... Because that was what they were intending with the worms are meant to be a kind of a boss monster. You know, like a kaiju type boss monster. That's like what they were trying to go for. So if we take that off, click Folgora, I think we'll actually, yeah, we'll go to Nalvis, won't we? Weirdly. Okay. For that one. But yeah, that's what they were sort of going for. And so to me, that feels more, it would be more appropriate if that was something, you know, Godzilla comes out the sea and attacks Tokyo, doesn't he? He doesn't, or she. It's not just wandering around in a territory. You know, that's the kaiju, or like Pacific Rim. You know, they come out of the Pacific and you have to fight them off, sort of thing. Yeah, that's the sort of narrative that is a kaiju. Or kaiju number 9. I've been reading that recently. Good manga. Okay, so if we set this going. Needs to unload on now, this, doesn't it? But yes, so I can kind of imagine them. You know, I think it'd be a mod territory. I don't think it should be in the base game, but a mod that goes, you know, some alert sounds and a kite. You know, the worm tries to recolonize one of the territories. Okay, I need to set now this up so that it is okay with accepting the orangeade. So if we swap that to that one. I think I might have to clear that out, won't I? Because it won't actually get into. I guess I could, if I quickly did like a, what pink science would I want to get next? Anyway, I guess it would be mech armor. So we can have it just do that, just to burn through what's on the belts as well. Because that's quite an expensive tech. Hello, this is Jess. Welcome. Do you transport resources from that planet to Nalvis? From Volcanus, you mean? Yeah, so I tend to bring everything to Nalvis because one of the things with the space map is some of the routes aren't. Because Folgora is a really great place to have the scrap. Not scrap, to have the big mining drills. And it's also you know, early in this, where we don't have so much like easy access to holmium, having the foundries is useful because that gives you, when they're making holmium, it gives you that 50% prod bonus. But of course, there's no direct route from Volcanus to Folgora. So what I tend to do at this very early stage is use Nalvis as a bit of a hub. So I'll have a platform doing that journey. Eventually, this one we're actually on. That's the little arrow there as us travelling around. That'll go back and forth there, and then when I'm ready for Gleba, because I want mech armor, artillery, blah 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 blah, we'll have one going there. What I usually then do is bulk haulers. So once we've got, maybe once I'm using, you know, foundries on Nalvis, and you know, material becomes a lot cheaper. We've maybe done a few steel researches and all of that sort of stuff. I usually set up bulk haulers, and it's basically a massive platform. Or, well, no, I mean, seen some of the platforms people have built, they're not massive, but a big platform with loads of storage, and it just picks everything up and drops everything off everywhere. And that then I'll do on a circular route, because it's quite a nice sort of circular route. Well, there's actually several you can do, obviously. That triangle there, and then of course that, is it a trapezoid? So that one there, and I will usually put bulk haulers on doing all of those trips, and there's several of them. It's actually what the devs do, or that they did in their testing. They basically set up. It's one of the reasons we don't have proper like logic for controlling the platforms like we do for trains. is because it never occurred to the devs. They basically, when they're testing, they would always just set up a bulk hauler, and it would, load up 5,000 green transport belts and just, move them around, and wherever needed transport belts, it would deliver them. So the idea of having a signal here that says, please send me, green transport belts, and that causes a platform other way around. One here saying, send me the express transport belts, and that kicks a platform into gear from here to load them up and send them over. That never really kind of occurred to them, apparently. Because it is just easy to just, effectively they're like just massive storage chests moving around. And I know people have moaned about throughput of the platforms, but until you get into insane sizes, these aren't actually throughput limited really at all. Not when you've got super fast bots and all that sort of stuff. Have we arrived? I think we've arrived. Cool. So if we just pop that on pause, and we need to drop them down. We'll have to send this back probably to gather a load of stuff. Take that off. I will drop back down. But yes, that's kind of what I have been doing. I'll be honest, I've not played this through a lot. I've only sort of been through a couple of times. I just find it so big now. It just takes so long to do a playthrough on this now compared to a normal Factorio run. I've actually got a video coming about that, about how I think there should be a quick start mode. There should be a way of basically shortcutting through the early game. Not completely eradicating it, but do it, making it a lot quicker. Hello, just Marco. Do you transport resources from that planet? Oh, same question. Sean. Both YouTube and Twitch, but yes. So that's my strategy. I don't imagine it's the most optimal strategy, but that's how I tend to do it. Okay, so I wonder if this. I mean, it looks like it's completely stopped. Is that? Oh no, it didn't fill up the chest. It ran out of super capacitors. Okay. That ran out. Why did that run out of circuits? Where were circuits coming from? From here, maybe? So that ran out of copper, or copper cable rather, which was that one. Ah, we have blockage. Okay. So I hope that will be made Aquilo Monster mod. Yeah, that'd be great if we could get that, I think. Too easy kill. I need to check if you can easily kill a big demolisher with the legendary artillery, turning it on with circuits. It would really need strong defences somewhere when the worms can return. Yeah, that would kind of be what I would imagine it. That's what I was, in a sense, that's what I was hoping for, that it would be. It's almost, takes it more closer to the tower defense, type of thing, where it's basically, I suppose pentabots sort of do it in a sense, not really though, but you get this warning that I say it's a mod territory rather than the main game, but maybe there's some sensor or something that you can set up, and it just goes. So you're the only no, you're using steel, but you don't have holmium plate. But yeah, it basically goes, oh, there's the kaiju's expected in 10 minutes, sort of thing, and that's your cue to. I never put that on there, did I? Okay. Don't have any bots here. I don't think I've got anything. This was just thrown together so I could get that achievement. Do I have any? I've got a pair of legs, apparently. I don't know why, but I have. This looks like maybe it was my inventory, doesn't it? Got one fast inserter. Okay. Because effectively going to have to start again here, I think. So that would be... That starts making the holmium. That causes this to make EMPs. I think we'll just let that chug away. Very slowly. Okay. But yeah, we could probably do something along the lines of clearing this out as well. So great for 2.1. Proper signals for space platforms and planets. I love how long it can be, but I wish I had 100 hours in a day. Yeah. I don't know, I think, I said the video, I'm not going to, well, I won't spoil the video, but basically, I do have some sort of reasons for, you know, for feeling that way, but it is a bit sort of like, I don't know, it's sort of, it's part of this whole thing that, because Factorio, I mean that, you know, what we were just talking about with the, where you expand and you know, yeah, so I don't want to spoil the video, but effectively, you know, I think the root cause of it is the whole, a bit like, well, like assembly machines. You know, you go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, but then they get made redundant by a completely different machine. And it's like, why bother making builds with these, you know, when a set of different machines that are completely different size, that are so much more powerful, so much more useful than the basic ones. And you can't just upgrade and replace them. They're completely different sizes. But then quality compounds that, so that it starts to, I mean, it's like, I just don't bother with quality, because the idea of making a build that's based around, you know, a level 3 beacon with level 2 prod modules and machines and level 3 speed, you know, do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, there's just so many combinations that if you build it so that, because obviously, you know, you can't open it. You can't build past what a belt can hold type of thing, or bots can carry. So you're just going to end up with builds that don't work, you know, aren't ratioed into your builds if you know, unless you've got this, and you've no guarantee that you're going to get enough level 3 beacons and what have you. And it's just too much of a headache, really. It's really perfect for stuff like space stuff. Quality, you know, where it gives you extra arms on the asteroid collector. Perfect, you know. The cargo bays are bigger. It works so well for space, but then for a lot of this stuff, it's just, you know, I mean, inserters are faster. That's a pretty good one, I think. But you know, quality combinator means nothing. Basically, it's like so that a lot of it doesn't mean anything. But also upgrading individual, you know, when you've got one, you know, say legendary assembler, it's sort of useless in a way. So yeah, I don't know that it's well, balanced isn't quite the right word, but it therefore means that it's too much work to come up with individual designs. So why bother? And therefore, you know, just wait until you've got the final set of machines. But that's then, you know, dozens of hours of playing when you know you're gonna rip it up and replace it. And I find that a bit rubbish, especially when the end of the game is just make the number go up. You know, it's all sort of tied into a bit of a general problem for me. But I'm sort of preempting the video, really. Sorry, I never launched the ship. Is the ship launching and landing to different planets automated? It can be automated, yeah. So the I haven't got a silo here. So the rocket silo in Space Age acquires these different options. So the inventory is obviously where you're putting in whatever you want to send. If you tick this box, the automatic requests from space platforms, when a space platform turns up, so for example, when Volcanus Express arrives, excuse me, you have to get used to this stuff to automate, which is the logistics grouping. I mean, you don't have to have groups, you can just put it all into one thing, but you need to know how logistics requests work. And so basically a platform arrives and it says, I want, so it arrives at Volcanus and it says, I want 250 tungsten plate. And so that is automatically sent to the silos down on the planet. And so the silos on the planet, because these are ticked, they say, oh, there's a platform, it wants 250 holmium plate or whatever it was. And then the bot, and so that becomes a request to the logistics system, and bots then fill it. You can do stuff with belts, you can have mad spaghetti sushi belts and do stuff like that, but it's easy just to tick that box, make sure the silos are in the logistics network, and get bots to basically fulfill those orders. Once they've got the stuff, so if it's requesting the 250 holmium plates, tungsten plates, once they're in the rocket inventory, it will just automatically launch and go up to the platform and fulfill that request. One of the things I didn't realise when I was messing about what was happening, so there we've got, say, 34 productivity modules, and I've got, say, a request for 50. If we made that 100, it works in whole stack sizes for the rockets. So the rocket would then deliver 50 productivity modules, taking it over the request. So if we're requesting 100 and we got 84, it will send a full stack through that automated system. But what you can do in order to not just fill up, because what I was ending up with is just like 3 inserters and 6 power poles and stuff like that, and it was filling up my platforms. If you limit it on both ends, so you set a maximum size and a minimum, then it will automatically limit the number, because what happens is it sends the 50 up and then it says, oh, I've got too many. It puts them into the drop slots and drops the excess down. Now obviously it won't do that here because it's at Volcanus, so it's not going to send prod modules up. But when those, when it does send more up, sort of thing, it will get rid of the excess ones, basically. So that's a way of controlling it, and I didn't know that for ages. It's part of the normal logistics system. It's just I didn't realise that platforms would kind of manage themselves in that way. So yes, basically you set those requests here. Now, what these groups are is you can assign groups to all sorts of things. So basically this platform, the Volcanus Express, and my hub on Nalvis, which is, this is where it drops things down to. So when it's, got this science packs request, you see, because that's the same group, I put this platform, this, what's it called? Landing pad and this platform in the same group, and it just auto manages it. So it basically says, Nalvis wants 1,000 science packs, 1,000 orange science packs, metallurgic ones. So the platform tries to deliver them when it gets to Nalvis. If it's not got any, it won't deliver any. If it's only got 500, it will just drop whatever it can. And that then says, back at Volcanus, I want 1,000 science packs. Send me 1,000 science packs. So the ends are automated and they do work so long as you tick the boxes. So if you set up these groups, tick the boxes, it will automatically deliver it. I do have a video in the works explaining it all, because it is, I'll be honest, it does feel botched together, shall we say. So I need to move that out now, don't I? Now that we've got some orange science pack. It is very, one of the things they struggled with was like the UI, the user interface for the whole space platform things, and I know it went through several iterations and versions because it's difficult to convey all of the information in just one little panel. part of the reason we lost the... There used to be a more complicated way of making space science, the white science. And part of the reason that was lost is because it was just adding even more complexity. Enemy sensors would be good, I hope, for that, for Space Age 2.0. Like a turret that has radar or infrared vision and can report movement, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, a sort of a... So that you could set it up to, like, send an alert or something like that. I don't... Alerts could get annoying, but some sort of thing that said... Because it's all very well, you know, a radar filling in this bit of the map and telling me this biter's there. But if it's a new colonisation, I can't, you know, I might want to know that, and I can put artillery there and get rid of them, sort of thing. But yeah, that'd be quite cool. Do you have any opinion on these splitters now have a circuit interface, at least on experimental? Yeah, I was messing about with it yesterday, looking at it. It's really cool. Because it has both input and output controls, and both left and right, so you can do all sorts of things like, you know, if we hook this up to a belt and get it to do the full belt content. Oops, don't really need that signal coming out. Belt contents, yeah. But you can get it to, you can like set the filter, but also get it to then do, so if we only wanted it to go send them, you know, if there was a certain amount of there. So if we said, right, turn this filter, you know, filter splitter on when that gets above 50, it will then send them off where you need to go. So I'm hoping, I'm actually thinking might try and use it here. I wasn't really planning on doing a belt-based one, but might give it a go. So we're at Folgora. I guess I need to set something up. How many MPs have we made now? 13. Okay. And we've got... Can I see them? 7. So that's a total of 20. I've also dropped down, have I? Yeah, big mining drills. Could probably do more of them. Yeah, this is why I use now this as more like a hub, because I can basically just have this going back and forth and bringing the drills. An early game, that means you just need, you know, on that platform, I'm going to have a platform going back and forth bringing the science, so it might as well bring the drills and stuff as well. Okay, so are you... There we go, you see it's moved those into a drop slot. What I really want to know... Yeah, so we've got that here now. Excellent. That should mean that when artillery finishes... Oh, I need calcite. Forgot the calcite. Nuts. Okay. Some plane. Okay, we need to add calcite to that. So this is how it works basically. You basically, if I want calcite here, you know, I've got a logistics group. So this is my group of stuff coming from Volcanus to Alvis, and I need to add calcite on. So I just click that. I'm gonna Alt left click because that shows me the Factoriopedia entry, and I see that the rocket capacity is 500. So we might as well set the request, since that's what one rocket will send, to 500. I am going to limit these though in the way I said, so that if we end up with a half load, when it sends a rocket up, it's not going to fill it with random extra junk, basically. Should have done that before. 20 there. That, I mean, the proper stack size for that, so we can carry a stack of 20, but it only will send 5 on a rocket. So we actually probably want to set that to 20 there, even though we don't necessarily need it to fill up with 20, but we don't mind if we end up with 20 on a platform. Cool. So yes, we need it to do a calcite run, in which case there's a very good chance, because 500 is then, I think it only stacks to, stack size is 50, so that'll be 10 rows basically, 10 boxes or 10 slots that it will fill up. So it's getting a bit full, this platform. So if we also limit these, just get rid of those, because we had, well, let's drop them down. We had excess of those. I could limit that one as well, just in case something happens. We've got extra of those, so we don't really need it doing that. I mean, splitters is something that's really good to make on volcanoes, because you get that prod bonus. But I just haven't set it up. Eventually, I'm sort of hoping with this series that I do the whole million science megabase thing that everyone calls their series Road to a Million. I don't know why roads are the chosen one. You'd have thought it would be rail line to a million given the game, but there you go. But that'll be way down the line. I'm actually probably going to pause this as a series of streams because I want to play a game called Little Rocket League. I did it again. Little Rocket Lab. Yeah, so I really like this. I think this is good, the splitters thing. And the fact you can do the set filter and all that sort of stuff. I think that's something I will be trying to investigate, because it feels like it would be good for doing combinators on. Radar can activate power save on turrets. Yeah, that would be, particularly like the Tesla turrets. That would be quite cool if it could detect an incoming attack basically, and so you time it so that it gets your Tesla turrets powered up basically. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, something like automated recipe changing on sushi belts might be a thing then. My crazy brain is thinking about some kind of sushi run. Yeah, it feels like. I mean, when I was talking about it yesterday, it felt like it would be a very good thing for platforms. But coming here and starting to think about Golgora again, scrap seems like a perfect use case for it. But yeah, so for example, on this, where I'm throwing this stuff overboard. In fact, we could do that, couldn't we? Let's see if we can maybe stop this from just throwing stuff overboard. The problem is, I've not set it up like that at all. So, no, I think I have to rebuild these. But yeah, so something like this, where I discovered it was horribly designed, and if it's what I really want is for it to buffer the ice, asteroid chunks and the carbon asteroid chunks on the belt, so that it'll just have a nice supply. Yeah, because this is randomised, so we don't know what's coming in. We could get a whole load of ice asteroids all at once, and at the moment when this is full, it's basically going to just chuck everything overboard. That's not what we want. What we really want is for it to only throw them overboard when that belt buffer is full, basically. So we do want it to get rid of some, but only once it's got rid of others. Once this is like a full up belt thing. But because I say I've kind of squished myself in, I don't think I could work that at all. Because the problem really is this whole thing where you get the chunks back again, and so this can fill up. Could I do it on this splitter? No. Well, maybe. There you go. So those three chunks or what have you, it's now throwing them overboard rather than buffering them on the belt. Because this doesn't need them right now. but that's why I end up with this orange fuel not got anything in it. Because I need a second one of these, so I need to do a proper, proper buffering basically. So yeah, that felt like a really good use case for it, where you say, oh, we got too many iron chunks, throw it overboard basically. At some point I will do something useful on Folgora. Do we have bots here? Did I even bring in any bots? I mean, I've got some. Okay. What I'm really waiting for is the artillery. So I can get rid of the biters near Malvis. Three, 5, 5. So it didn't really end up with any nice islands. That's kind of the problem here. We can't I do a thing where I do... Yeah, there we go. Because that'd be the, Because if you didn't know, so you can't build. The problem on this planet is the lightning, which just destroys everything basically. So you have to cover everything with lightning rods, and eventually there's a bigger version of those. But you can't build on any of this until you get a much later game tech. You can, however, build rail supports on the lighter stuff. So this dark stuff, no, that requires the tech. But this lighter stuff you can. So you can connect islands with rail. You have to snake it around. It's no good for blueprints. Because, we'd have to take if we were trying to move this scrap to this island, we'd have to look at bridging that gap. And the rail supports don't go very far. You have to be quite close. So that might be too far. So maybe that would be a better place, or definitely there. And so you end up, like snaking the rail lines around to get it to work. And it becomes really painful when you're trying to do two-way, or like left and right, two direction rail sort of thing. Not two direction. Two rail lines in parallel, because getting two rail lines to go across there would be quite painful. So you're best off, certainly until you get that tech, is looking for islands where it's actually quite nice to connect them. So that's actually quite a good connection. Rail doesn't get hit by or I guess the idea is that the rail itself is conductive, so it doesn't get damaged by the lightning. But if you try and fly bots across that gap, we would lose loads of them. So you either want islands that are nice and close together, which as you can see we don't have anything close together. They would need to be covered by, we'd need to be able to do a coverage like that and have a passage for the bots to go through. But I'm pretty sure none of these islands are close enough to do that. So eventually you can build on all of the oil sand. It's very expensive, but so you can do that. But I don't think I can, bot connect any of these islands. So we'd have to rail connect them. And we do have some nice bits that, could work as pretty simple rail connections. Oh, actually, that's 37 million, isn't it? I didn't know that was a big one. Because what you need to do with scrap, of course, is process it. We don't, I suppose, in theory. We could... One of the things I did think about for a sort of a mega base is just... Because there's so much scrap, is just have an island that, makes blue circuits, and it just voids everything else. You could maybe try and quality it, just because you're just burning the rest of it. But otherwise, what we really need to do is bring all the, process all of the scrap, and then use it appropriately in, the recipes. Because what your instinct is probably, or my instinct is you process, say, use that island to process the scrap, and then send trains, so one with red circuits, blue circuits, and all that sort of stuff. But that's a massive rail infrastructure that you just can't support here. So in case anyone, I'm sure people know that, but so we have some big patches there, but not like in terms of scrap volumes. Oh, 31 million. But that's not a very nice connection across there, is it? So I'm basically thinking of relocating, because this only has 500,000. We could leave it going and seeing if it can, I'll just come back and empty any chests that fill up with too much stuff or what have you. And we'll just get it chugging away, making for, EMPs. And if it can, maybe a little bit of pink science. Or just leave it, leave it as is this. So I want to relocate somewhere, is the point. And although that's a nice patch, and there's a pretty good connection there, that's a pretty small island for what we want to do. I suppose, do I want to think about it in terms of... So the Volcanus build is focused purely on just doing, the electromagnetic science, the big mining drills, and the foundries, as well as making plenty of the key resource. So I could think of Fulgoran the same way, couldn't I? So we could maybe do some numbers to see what it would take to actually build, basically like I did with the Volcanus build. So we spend a few hours working out the machines, and then I'll know how much space I need. Because we'll have the advantage on Fulgora that obviously blue circuits are just in the scrap. Low density structures are in the scrap. Okay. And for other circuits, of course, we have massive bonus from the EMPs. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So we'll go back to basics, essentially. And look at doing... In fact, if I just put down... Have I got any lightning rods? So if we just sort of make an area... Have I got any of those EMPs? I don't think I have, have I? We now have fuels to make portals blue and orange. I bet there is a nice island just beyond some fog of war, maybe. That's always the risk here. Because they are... I think this is to do with the settings, because I set it up as a rail world type settings, but then made it a bit more extreme. And I think that's what's caused these islands to be... Because the islands themselves aren't bad. There's not like a nice super big one. But the resources are, quite spread out, if you look at them, really, compared to how it normally is. And I think it's done that by basically, changing where the islands are. If that makes any sense. Oh, I've done artillery, haven't I? Oh. So let's get... I don't know why those are there. I guess that's me just looking at numbers. Don't know. So what we want is we want our hot build. I think I'm using the blue one, aren't I? Rather than that one. That's our later one. I think I need to start using that again. So this can be... Where would it be? It'd be here. The actual turrets. And then this can be some shells, but I think I need a few of them. Shells is your classic, only need them when you need them, and then you need a lot when you do need them. Because we want a lot more than that. We want more than 20 in a chest. We want like... Because they only stack to 1, don't they? So a chest would hold 10, 20, 30, 40. So we do want, say, 100. Just so that's say, when we need them, we've got them. But cool. So that's able to order everything. What are you set on? We want do we want 20 of them? We don't want 20. Just 10 will do. Because we don't want it eating all of our tungsten plate. Did you get the request? You did. Calcite is obviously missing because Volcanus Express is just sat out in the void, aren't you? Oh no, you are at Volcanus, okay. All requests sat... Ah! It's not going to get calcite because I'm not putting it in a chest. In fact, is this even... That's not bot covered, is it? Okay. We need to extend the robot port coverage then. There. But up. There. So we do that. We can also swapsy these for these. So and then we want a bulk inserter. Chest. Calcite. No, not filters. We set that to 1,000. Then we know we've got... In fact, can we set it to 1,000? Because it only stacks to 50. Yeah, no, that'll work, because that's two rows, isn't it? Cool. Now that we've got the big ones on, we can take those off. Although it's 1.1, it's quite spread out. It's quite sort of a low-density patch. Might have power. Because what I need is these guys to just chill out. And the best way to get bytes to chill out is to blow them up. So once calcite arrives, the other thing we really want is the cliff explosives. That must mean we've done one of the researches. We've done coal liquefaction. Okay. Good to know, but I'm not going to swap the recipes over. This is what we want for doing, because that allows you to build on the deep stuff. But it requires both sciences, you see, so we need to set it up properly. Turbo belt is great, but I'm not going to use it for ages. It would be useful to have that buff, but not right now. And we need reprocessing in order to do Aquila, but we want to go to Kleber first. Cool. Okay, so maths. I got the MPs now, yes. Let's just sort of whack in a bunch of these, because it turned out to be quite a big build on volcanoes. Cool. So this gives us an area to back them down, do some numbers. Oops. So I'm assuming with prod bonus and stuff, this ends up being the same. So that's 0.3. Is that what we ended up with over here? 0.6? Huh. Why does that have 0.6? And that one's only 0.3. Thought they both had base productivity plus 50%, crafting speed 2. Oh, crafting speed 4. Huh. In my head, they both had the same bonus. That's interesting. So in order to do the same amount of science out of both of those planets, we'd have to support 8. Wow. Okay. I suppose we're getting a lot of free stuff. So maybe that's not too problematic. Interesting. Okay, so accumulators are literally just... we get them out of scrap, don't we? Batteries? No, yes. So batteries... and of course iron plate we would need to convert from something. Okay. Because this feels like it's going to be tricky, is my concern. Because that's going to have to do iron plate out of it, basically. And enough iron plate. But we also want to overproduce accumulators anyway. Okay. How many do you need? 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. So 1.6 accumulators. Wow. Do I want to module these? I think this is feeling like maybe where I didn't on Volcanus, I do want to do that here. Can we get Agora Express to bring some more stuff in? Let's call these Volgora Quests. Well, call it Folg Order. Sounds like some ancient ritual practicing clandestine organisation. So get some modules in. Just because I know I've got them, obviously they're fairly easy, well, very easy to build here, but I want to think about that later. And then we'll need a whole load of belt, I'm sure. And power poles, traditional. What else? I guess we would need, don't really need steel chests, but might bring in. It's actually quite easy to make a lot of this stuff, really, isn't it? Do I therefore want to focus more on just getting a load of bots here? I'm slightly umming and erring as well, if I'm totally honest, about going bot, especially with this change to the combinators. But bots are just so easy here. So yeah, let's bring them in because I've just, I know I've got them over on Malvis. Else, should we get you doing all that just to start with? So that would need to be unload. All requests satisfied. We'll actually whack that way up so that it sits here, I think. Cool. Okay, so let's let that chug away. I don't know if I could hand make a couple just to see what the numbers are about. Guess I could just whack them in a... one of these bad boys. Oh yeah, we've got artillery trains as well. Fun for all the family. Oh, you're eating all my red circuits. Not a fan of that. Cool, cliff explosives done. I think we'll let it do something like that. Let's just think about letting it do more gun buff. Or maybe laser buff? Yes, do laser buff. Cool. Now this then, so we want this to make, so I could, lovely, artillery turrets. How many shells were only 6? Only 9 though, okay. Right, so, cliff explosives, but that means, are they under military? No. There. I need barrels, don't I? Grenades. I don't think I've got barrels. I think we might have to... Let's do it like that. Cool. Could actually, thinking about it, upgrade some of this to level 3 a bit quicker. Yeah, so the barrels are not being made anywhere. Cool, glyph explosive, because then I can do rail using my rail blueprints. Okay, so we got a couple of modules. So we went all in as that would be 0.75. Maybe an efficiency would be better. 0.56. 0.55. I think we'll go with that. Unless I want to do Or, no, let's do... So that's close to what it's doing on volcanoes. It's not the same. But that then means that we need 0.34, so we would need 0.68, 1.28 accumulators. So 1.3 accumulators. So that's 0.3. Because I'm thinking we do quality ones of these as well. What was it? Well, effectively, so 0.34, 0.68, 1 point, so 1.3. So I need 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I'd need that to give me a little bit extra for accumulators proper. Batteries we're obviously getting from the scrap. Maybe we do one more. And these would need quality modules then. The music's doing the thing where it's weird again. Cool. Because quality doesn't slow it down, I don't think. I can't remember. Oh, that doesn't do factory obedience. Oh, it does slow it down. But by how much then? Because I haven't got any of them. I can't do the proper maths. It was 5%, wasn't it? And I think I'm overproducing by more than 5%. I could always chop one of that. Oh no, that's 5% per module. So that'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% slower. So maybe we end up with just a couple. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I don't suppose it's brought any, has it? Has Fulgora Express done its thing? No. What are you waiting for? Belts. Okay. And everything, actually. I love that part of the music, and the best beatboxing is weird. I mean, I said this before. It's sometimes very difficult for me to explain because it is a lot of, it's just personal things, and I don't want to sound like I'm sort of slagging it off. I don't necessarily think the new music is bad. I do find it distracting because the beauty of the OG Factorio music is that it's oh, don't build it. I'm trying to ghost it, so I've got extra ones. It's ambient background music that I don't find distracting at all. Maybe that's because I've literally listened to it for 5,000 hours. I don't know, but I do find the new stuff distracting because it's more like proper music. Okay, so we've got the accumulators, hopefully, and for fiddle and modules and stuff. What about supercapacitors? What's the maths on them? So they need batteries, which is recycling bits, green circuits, which is recycling bits. No, that's red. That's like blue and reds. So I think this is going to be the struggle with doing this here, because I'm going to need to set up all the maths so that it is based around recycling rates. Okay. But yeah, so we got the batteries. Did I? Yes, here we go. Not batteries, supercapacitors. 0.3 you're making, and you need 0.34. But do we want those for anything else? I mean, we want a Tesla, and we want a lightning collector, and we want portable fusions, personal battery 3s, and mech armors. They're all lovely, lovely, lovely toys. I guess Tesla ammo is going to be the one. It's just they're not really going to be sinks, these things. collectors maybe. You know, we're going to make one mech armor. We're going to make, you know, a couple of fusion reactors. A couple of them. Maybe quite a few of them for Clever. But there's nothing there that's, you know, we're just going to burn thousands and thousands of. So maybe the ammo? So I don't necessarily... So what I'm saying is I don't need to massively overproduce them. You know, a bit extra would be great. And we could go... modularly. So what would that look like? 0.43, 0.34. Has it been and gone? It's not. It won't have been and gone. Have you made any more? No. Oh, red circuits is all right. Oh, of course I need the level 1s, don't I? In fact, have we got some of them? No. So that'll spit a few extra ones out, just to make it easy to mess with numbers. If I also get some myself, and craft a couple in the interim. And I listen to it for entertainment or while walking. Yeah, so I actually, I mean, so I don't dislike the soundtrack. It's not that. It's just, so I find it it grabs too much of my attention. But I have that problem in like 99. The only other game where I can kind of have the soundtrack just on is Stardew Valley. And if you notice, both this and Stardew Valley it's basically songs. You know, the soundtrack is a set of songs, and there's like gaps between them, and they're both very ambienty. You know, they're not trying to be too complicated, I say, which is where I find a lot of game music. Yeah, this is much more like a proper game soundtrack. You see what I mean? You know, that you would expect to be in most games, but I turn the soundtrack off because I find it too distracting. It takes up too much of my mental capacity to also listen to the music. So I just don't listen to the music. So, 0.34. Can we get it a bit closer to that? If we were to whack in... Have we made any here? We have. So if we were to whack in one more of them. 0.55. Two of them. 0.31 is too slow, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So perhaps we go with 0.45. 0.34. In fact, that's a perfect match then, isn't it? It is, but we do want some extra. Oh, that's a level 1 as well. Oh, and that's a level 1. What happens if we make it level 2? 0.33. Okay. 0.31. Yeah, I think we'll just have to cope with a fairly significant overproduction. So 0.34 we would then need... It's the same thing, isn't it? So we're going to end up needing 1.3. I'm making 4.4. So it would be 0.4, 0.6, oops, 0.8, 0.8. So 0.4, 0.8, 0.43, 0.86, 1.6. Yeah, so that will get us a few extra for Tesla turrets. Cool. We then want, say, what do we want? I didn't plug this back in, did I? What are you moaning about? Just where it transitions to the different ammo, basically. Okay, so we then want some superb capacitors. Superb conductors, rather. What are they? Now, they're used in stuff. They're your stuff one. It's got the level 3 modules and lots more military things. Okay. So we do want a good oversupply of them, but luckily it makes 1.2. What does this need? Each one of those are going to need 0.51. 0.1, 1. Well, 1.0 effectively. 2.0. So if we're over 2, then we're okay. So we literally 2 of them. I think we're good. Would sticking some modules in help? Or hinder? Let's get... No. You've eaten all my red circuits again. This looks like it's stuck somewhere. Yep, steered again. Okay, so 1.81. So we could almost probably get one machine doing it, could we? But so I did the wrong module. 2.2. So that should supply us with all we need and a little bit of extra. Nice. We're going down the chain of production. So accumulators, we would then need the pink and the speckly fluids for that. You need iron plate. We'll get the batteries, so the iron plate would be recycling. Gears. Batteries we get, so green circuits would be another recycler. Holmium plate, superconductors, and that needs the pink stuff as well. Okay, can't forget about that. But that's copper plate, plastic bars, holmium plate, and light oil. So, light oil means doing oil cracking. Some cracking. Haven't really got any chemical plants. Where are you? Oh, you're here. Are you dropping stuff off, or have you dropped stuff off? Unload at Folgora. Has it already done it, Trip? Oh, this hasn't got the group on. Idiot. There we go. Okay. What was I going to do? I was going to get some more chemical lamps, wasn't I? So, if we add them on there. Where are you? There you are. Do we have pumps? We could bring some pumps in. So yes, I'm not going to bother with ratios, working them out just yet. No, wrong one. No, it's just heavy to light, isn't it? Because we just need light. Okay, in fact, let's work out. Well, it might as well. 3.4, 15. So one of those covers it. Excellent. Plastic then is a recycler, isn't it? Is that right? Out of the low density structures. So that needs a recycler. Plastic, copper then does. I mean, we get that out of the low density structures, I guess. So I'm going to put that there as well. I don't know that I'll remember that, but whatever. So the only thing we're missing then is the holmium plate. And we can use boundaries for holmium plate. Yes, holmium plate. So we would get 6 a second. This is going to need 0.68, so not even 1. That needs 0.51, but we've got 4 of them. So that's over 2. So we call it 3 for them. That obviously doesn't need them. That needs the fluid. Okay. But one of those is going to supply enough for the machines we've got here. I wonder if I stick some prods in. So that would reduce the amount of fluid, so we can do that, potentially. But yeah, so one of those, and we are going to need excess of them, because we're going to need to move them around for, you know, those, but they're much later. So we don't have to worry about that too much. Cool. Feels like that's wrong, but it's because this is such a bonus thing. We would need two normal machines to do it. Okay. Where does the fluid comes out of a chemical plant, doesn't it? Yeah. So we would then need this to make that. So that's just regular things. But we need to make water out of ice, don't we? And now we're out of the chemical plant, so I don't suppose it's been and gone. What about... It might be sat here trying to fulfill requested... Oh. We need to stop that being a silly length of time. Cool. But yes, we need ice melting. But isn't that like bonkers productive? 20 a second, and it only needs 1 per machine. So we could support 20 of them, basically. Okay. So we'd need 6 for that. No, we wouldn't. We would need 80 for that. And that only makes 10. Wow. Okay. What about now? 15.8. And that requires 80. So that would then... So 2 of them. Let's put them here. In fact... So a soundtrack now sounds like a fly buzzing around. What are we doing? So 80 of them, and then it... But it's 15 with the modules in, wasn't it? Effectively. So 15, 30... So that's only 60. And that would take up to 90. Which is great, but... we need even more for some of these, don't we? Because that's literally just doing the holmium for that. I suppose that is overproducing, isn't it? So we only really need it to run at 2/3 or something to make 4 a second. So if it's 2/3, it'd be like 55 or something. Call it 60, because that's then 4 machines. So if we say 4 of those support this one, and that makes the holmium plate all of the holmium plate we need, and a little bit extra, not quite the doubling. So then this one doesn't need any speckly pink. This one 8.5. Each of these needs 8.5. So 16, 17, 34. So we need an extra 34. If we say these 4 do what we need for that one, and 2 make 15, 30. So basically we need 1 more. So we need that to do the raw holmium solution. This is why I was thinking about doing the separate islands, because we're going to need so much holmium at a point when making holmium is actually pretty tricky. I guess we do have the big drills. Okay. So let's just double check. We've done capacitors there. Capacitors. That's a recycle. We've done superconductors. We need to look at the electrolyte. So everything else is okay. Plastic, yeah, all of those listed. Cool. Because this also needs electrolyte. Righto. Electrolyte is also... Where's the electrolyte? Electrolyte is PMPs. Okay. So, pop one of them in there. Electrolyte is even more holmium solution. Great. Exactly the thing we don't have very much of. That makes 6 on its own, no modules. And you need 2.59. So that's effectively, call it 2.5 for now. So it'll be 5, 10, but then that was under by 0.1. So that'd be 10.4 electrolytes. And then each one of those is 8.5. Same number basically, so 1734. So 10.5 on top of that will be 45-ish. Yeah, let's try and target 45. Is it used in anything else? Does it go into like... Oh, it does go into Tesla guns and Tesla ammo. So we do want to like overproduce. Oh, and also the collectors. Okay. So we do want to be nicely overproducing that, and we need 45, which would be 6, 12, 18, 24. So we without modules we need like 8 of them. So what do modules do to the equation? So that goes up to 11, which is good, because then it would be 22, 44, and that one gives us plenty of extra. Okay, but that does mean more holmium solution. Well, let's do the... Well, the heavy just comes out of the ground, doesn't it? So we don't even have to crack that or anything. But we would need an extra 7, 14, 28, 35. Extra 35 holmiums. And we established one of those was 15. I lost it in my head then. What was it? 7, 14, 28, 35. Well, there's just 15. So actually, we probably need 3 of them. That's really very annoying. Let's move you there. Way. There. Okay, so heavy oil we're getting for free. Holmium solution we're now making there. I'm getting quite a bit of excess of that, which is good for the things. Also means these shouldn't have to run all at rate. Now, I think that's it. In terms of machines, we're making superb capacitors. Accumulators are done, the 2 fluids are there. Superconductors. Was that all done? Is everything there? Yeah. What's wrong thing? Electrolyte. Okay, so machine-wise, that's a lot less, isn't it? Because none of these require, like, circuits, particularly apart from that one. And that's just recycle all the You know, these don't require blue circuits or something. Obviously we need them for rockets and all of that malarkey. So that gets us the science. What it doesn't get us is a nice production of EMPs. I guess we should also make your rods and your conductors as well. Do I want us? I mean, I think we'll tackle it on a separate thing, but I mean, I skip the express transport. I skip the stuff because it's later game. Oh, we have somebody is overly full. This is what it is. You see how it's got 22? It's trying to send up an entire rocket, but there isn't room for an entire rocket of stuff. So it's like stuck. And that's what I was trying to avoid, and I have not avoided it. So instead, what can we do? We could drop that to 100. Where are you even? You are at Volcanus, are you? Okay. So if we drop that down, because we need like an entire road to be free. We could drop the gun turrets down. I mean, I haven't got the turbines on. Oh, I have got them on the list. Okay. Do I really need bots on this journey right now? Probably not. We could also make that just one stack. So it should now be able to fit that in, but when it arrives, it will immediately get rid of, you know, all of this again, and it will just, well, it'll probably keep those, so you know, have like a full, because it wants to keep 500. But the rest of it will immediately drop back down again. So it does auto manage. I should put a top limit on them as well, shouldn't I? Because, yeah, there you go. That's another problem. Could always drop that to 50 as well, couldn't I? Cool. Okay, so what were we doing? We were making, or setting up to make, EMPs, and then we would probably want rods and cones. So I'm tempted to add on where I haven't with the others, because modules are just going to be are always just so useful, you know. And then panels as well, so that I can get this chugging away making quality panels. But I can do that one, I guess, back on Nalvis, maybe. In fact, we could do all of those on Nalvis, really, couldn't we? I think that's probably a better idea. So if we go, sort of pop them somewhere on here. Let's try and get them outside of the network. Because hopefully it won't then moan about not being able to build them. It does a lot of moaning in this game. Cool. Okay. Where were we? I don't suppose I made any more EMPs, have I? Oh, I'm backed up on reds quite a lot. Oh. 12. Nice. Okay, so There you go. We're starting to bring blue circuits there, but steel's just free from scrap. Refined concrete, though, is not. Okay. So we would need at least one of your finest assemblers. Do you want the base to chill out for a bit? I guess I could get it to do preemptively so that we maximise our discomfort for the pentapods. I could whack on a couple of electric damages. In fact, I need to make them as well, don't I? Need to make that. In fact, have I done the Tesla Tower research? Because we need you. I must have done, otherwise I wouldn't have. I'm confused. Tesla. What am I missing? Oh, you got to do the 2 damages first. Okay. No. That's weird. Getting thoroughly confused. Okay. So we want those 2 as our key things. But you see, you get so much lovely stuff out of Fulgora. All the personal equipment. Fulgora planet is best planet. Shield Mark 2. What else? That's blue, isn't it? Fire other. And then your Gleber Tech. Because they've got to give you some reason to want to go to Gleber. So those are do-do-dos. Cool. So those are the fun toys we want out of Fulgora, really. I was trying to work out. Oh no, I need to do the Tesla Tower research, don't I? Okay, so I can't actually work that out yet. I guess I can do that because I can do the handheld version, can I? Why can I do the ammo and not the... Oh, you don't use ammo for the tower, do you? Have we got the... Where's the Tesla... What? Is that just because I can't hand make it? I'm getting very confused. So Tesla turret requires the Tesla ammo and the Tesla weapons research. Why have I got Tesla ammo available when I haven't done... That's discharge. That's a discharge defense. Oh dear, Driz. Is Tesla ammo the stuff to throw at a Cybertruck? Indeed. Fulgora reminds me of some medieval... Maybe that's what you do with them. You stick them in a trebuchet maybe and lob Cybertrucks at the pentapods. Fulgora reminds me of some medieval wizards that had scientific success with lightning and electricity until they didn't. Yeah, it's a good shout. It's sort of... it is quite alchemical, isn't it? Sort of... that's quite a good sort of point, actually. I'd say it's sort of a alchemy type world, really, isn't it? My personal theory is it's basically the Martians from the War of the Worlds. That's kind of what I was hinting at in that speculation video. So, where did I get to? We need processing units there, just out the scrap. More holmium plate and refined concrete. That's what I was doing. So refined concrete is there. How much do you need? So that needs 10. and that produces 0.5. But then I don't need it at mega speed. But then that's hardly mega speed. I guess we could ask Volgora Express to bring us a few green ones. Not enough to fill one rocket. Interesting. Why is that? Because it's not getting any level 1 ones, because I imagine they're being stolen by other processes. Oh look, we got loads of level 2 modules. Yeah, I think if we speed that up. Might help out a bit. But yeah, I think that needs... So Greenwood one would make it like 0.7 or something. I guess we probably... No. And then just go pure speed on it. 0.8. So maybe we can get it to 1 out of a green one, maybe. And we would then need 10. So we would want some. I mean, we're going to end up with... Wait, concrete doesn't come out of scrap, does it, or does it? Oh, it does. So we'll have loads of concrete, I guess, won't we? Why am I making loads of bricks? Oh! Oh, there's a behemoth spitter, okay. Is it time to see about... Oh, we got plenty. 69. Nice. Is it time to see about spoiling the biter's day? Where was that attack? That was there. So, if we were to pop in, where is a power pole? So if we go maybe... Might get a bit intense is sort of the problem. As in... I mean, that's not a big group, is it? And a lot of it's worms. Worms. So, if we did do one of them, and one of them, one of them. How many do we want it to request? Maybe 5? Bing bong bing. I'm just trying to think how big the arc would be. Can I get it to show me? No, a bit. Because it's only a ghost, it won't actually put it on. No. So I have a suspicion it will hit these as well. But oh no, there we go. Oh, it's quite small. Okay. So that sort of scale is very difficult to tell on this in this game, I find. So we're not going to be able to defend the cloud, but we can certainly push them back so that they're not sat right on our walls. Okay. So maybe, have we got any... Because I seem to do quite a bit of attacking down here. So we could maybe plop in... Where would it be powered? Maybe if I put it next to the big one. We've not got that many. Oh, it's doing things. It's killing them. So 2 shots to kill. Well, that's a behemoth worm. Okay. Big worm. See, it's always moaning about stuff, these platforms. How do you not have room? Okay, then let's do that. It's going to launch an entire rocket with 500 on it in order to replace whatever that is, 24 or something. Right. They made it louder, I think, the artillery turret. Wanted to give it a bit more oomph. So 2 hits to kill a behemoth. Okay. 2 hits to kill a spawner as well, though. We can obviously do... In fact, we're not going to do these EMP researches, so we might as well. It's not too expensive to start with, so we could do 2 of them maybe. Since we're moving the metallurgic science around. And the worms don't care about pollution, so... Cool. I don't suppose this has started shooting, is it? Nope. Oh, that is getting more, isn't it? Okay. Where was I? So. Yeah, we get concrete out of the thing. We do need to do a recycle to get sticks, though. Let's put one of them there. Oh, we're out of range. Okay. So need to get that, and we would need to actually manufacture the sticks then. Damnable sticks. 6.64. Oh. It's off again, moaning about no room. Yeah, you're moaning about no room again. I don't understand why. What are you trying to send up that there's not room for? Oh, I guess because that's 9, isn't it? That's not 10. Why have you got 100 turrets on it? Oh, because I've doubled it up there, look. Okay. Where were we? So, you're going to make 3 a second, 0.64 a second needed. So that's fine, so it should be... That would support like 5 of them. Let's see if we could do 5, because that would then be close to half, I would guess. Well, that's with the blue machines. I don't suppose Has it brought? No. What are you messing about with, Fogwater Express? What are you doing? Oh, still waiting on the modules. Let's get you to just do a trip. Okay. So that should let us make... So we get there, fine concrete, but we need more holmium plate is the point. 30, if we wanted to make 0.3 a second. What have I done on Volcanus? So that would be 0.67, but then I'm not supplying anything like what it actually kind of needs. It's probably a better 0.2 a second. So I think I've just done some, basically. So if you need... Because we're not going to supply 10 of those, it's going to be more like 4 or 5. So if we wanted to supply, say, 50 in holmium plate... per second. We're not going to do that. So there's not much point having all of these extra ones, is it? If we're only going to supply whatever this ends up being, 6. But then I underperformed, under-resourced it, didn't I? So that would need to be... I think we probably would need to add a couple on. Gives a bit more of a chance of hitting it. I think we're then into needing more, because that needs 1. This it's 20. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. No, so we're okay on that front. But yeah, whatever holmium plate we've got, that needs the pink juice. Okay. So that's steel, copper cable and brick, which is all recycling stuff, which is obviously deliberate to get, you know, because otherwise you wouldn't really be able to make them very well. But then we want to upgrade them, and that requires 3.2 of the old of these laddies. I don't think I was overproducing that much, was I? So we might need 1 more of them. Tricky. But that's then 0.4. Oh no, they're 0.5, aren't they? So that's 1, 2, 2.5. It's only making 2.2. Did we make some more? There's some more prods. Ah, so it was dropping down. Cool. So yeah, we actually want this to be 1 of them. Some of them. 1.83, so that's fine. So 5th then, give or take. So 5th of 30 is like 6, which is an entire one of these. In which case, there's not really much point speeding that up, is there? Supercapacitors, yeah, we probably do want an extra 1, which makes half. But that means we do need an extra 1 of those. Which means even more of that. I think we are going to go second one of them. This supports 20. So if we go 6, 12, 18. It's just a bonkers amount of holmium to try and produce it. We're not going to do it. Because we also need the electrolyte, you see. 80 electrolytes. And this was I think this was making quite a bit extra, wasn't it? I think we need an extra one of them. I've just completely lost the numbers, haven't I? I've not Not really been tracking it properly. Yeah, these are clearly horrendous to produce. So we'll just have to do it as... I'll have to build it such that these are just on the end. And maybe use pumps to make sure that, you know, these guys are getting what they need first. It needs accumulators. Well, we do now have them. So that drops it to 0.26. So that would be then 0.5-ish. 1.5. And that's 0.34. So that would be 0.6. 8. 1.2. So it's about 1.3. Okay, so we would get some extra still. We'd have to do some clever stuff with quality. But that would give us extra for the accumulators. So I think we're basically okay. Apart from the whole EMP stuff. Not EMP, Tesla turret stuff. Because that needs quite a lot of electrolyte, quite a lot of supercapacitors, quite a lot of superconductors, and an entire Tesla gun, which also requires quite a lot of electrolyte and quite a lot of superconductors, as well as quite a lot of holmium plate. Okay. Don't suppose we've made any significant amounts of... Oh, we have! Could we maybe do the Tesla? 1500. 1500. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Can't do the Tesla turrets. I'm not quite sure how I would do them anyway, because I kind of need to rework this in its entirety, because this doesn't really work. For so many sciences. Okay. Right then. So I think I'm happy with that basically as the sort of maths of the situation. So it's not actually physically all that big a build. Let's do what I did with the other one and ghosterize it. Well, we don't really need those in the thingy. Okay. So could we, or could I, how would that work though? Because what I was thinking is I could pick it up here, just pick up the scrap, you know, get all of this scrap mined. It's 37 million, so it'll last a while, just sit there, train it up to here, process it here, and then build sort of there maybe? That's not going to work, is it? Why didn't that come up? Could I fit all that onto that island? Because it needs a scrap processing thing. Which, if I'm going to use belts... I guess I could train it over to there. You know, I could just use that as a pass-through, effectively. Just go through that bit. That's not all that much bigger. It is a nicer shape, though. I guess there might be the difficulty with Algora's version of cliffs. Should we go and have a look at this island? I think we're going to have a look at that island. Where did my tank get to? Did I bring a tank? That's the now this one. Did I? Oh yes, there we go. Oh, it's got rocket fuel in it as well. So let's have a look at this island at the top. See if it's a bit bigger. Because I quite like to do what I've done with volcanoes, where it's effectively set. I might need to add on a bit of calcite mining, or you know, power might be an issue with the sulfur. Hopefully it will be able to sit there and do what science we need, basically, to get us to Aquilo. So these aren't looking like particularly big islands, are they? But let's keep going. Fingers crossed. No, ends there. Particularly straight edge. What about you? I mean, this could be bigger, but actually, I think this is to do with the map settings. Not finding any giant islands in the proximity. Let's have a quick look at... Oops! Let's maybe not crash into the ancient and highly archaeologically important wall. Yeah, it's curved back on itself. There's always just the bigger island just over there. I mean, this is actually probably of the islands we've got. I mean, it could also split the production, so we could make like the we could, you know, I could just keep this here. This could just be making EMPs. Well, not keep it. I probably want to rework it. But it could make the EMPs and maybe the lightning thingies. And then the other island is all about making the science. And because we've got, I suppose would there be a risk with? No, because I wouldn't be able to connect the logistic networks. I just think because we'd then need a silo, rocket silo on this island and this one, and probably two on this one. But silos aren't that tough to build here. I'm a pathetic amount of scrap, so we don't really need to worry about that. Could we see a nice train route? That's the other question then. So we probably need to come up there. Maybe corner around there and go up there. So our drop off would be here maybe? So that's the next question, is could we get the rail route to work? Now, am I going to use a blueprinting. I think I'm going to have to... Because I kind of want to bring a lot of scrap at once, because it's just going to be a, you know, back and forth rail thing. So I want to be delivering. I'm going to have to go with like a 1-to-1 train, basically. So if we said that, and I don't think I brought... Did I bring... rails? I mean, I don't need them, do I? I can just ghost it in, I guess. I was hoping to sit in a bit of that space there. There we go. Because the other issue is power, you see. Because we would have to have quite a lot of power production on this island as well. I guess I can do quality. We could switch this to do quality ones, maybe? Yeah, okay. So let's have a look, see. If we were to go... We had something like that there. We could certainly get somewhere like that, or maybe even like that. Should be doable with it being a, you know, one direction, you know, bi-directional rail, I would suspect. But where do we need to go? Guess we actually want to go kind of off this corner here, really. Look at the rail planner going absolutely mental. Because I've got to avoid... Oh, and I got cliff... I guess I could import some. It'd be easy to avoid cliff you know, needing cliff explosives. So on there. And then sort of down this way. Whoa. And then kind of yeah, so we maybe end up with a rail thingy. Where is it? Rail ramp here, maybe? That work? Looks like it should connect, but you never know with the rail planner. I'm sure we could fit. I mean, we could even do it down here. We could do just a... Whoops. Thing there. And then if I did use my blueprints... Plenty of room, but we want to go... Probably want the red version. Yeah, I don't think I'm even making blue belts yet. So pick up, item pick up. Like that, okay. I'd need to fiddle with this if I was going to do two. So this would just be picking up scrap, you see. I wonder about direct mining into the into the train. If I'm literally just doing the one train, I wonder if that's more viable. Anyway, what are we picking up? We're picking up scrap. So it'd be something like that. Except, you know, the right way round. I mean, I could. Oh no, I don't. I think that. Don't think that's. I'm just thinking maybe I could buffer them somewhere, like have a stacker on this or one of these islands, because this is quite nice and flat. I think I'm going to leave a little tag. Because the trains could come on here, they could go into a stacker, and then go up there. They would then need to go out. I mean, it wouldn't be really increasing throughput, but it would be increasing bufferage, basically. Because then I could use the 111, you know, I could just use all my default trains. And I could just have like 3 of them. So then one would be unloading, you know, one's waiting here, one's loading. Something like that, maybe? Because not actually a bad shape for just doing direct insertion. Quite long. That's what she said. So you can get like 3 carriages on. Or as I say, I just do regular voltage. Okay. We're doing 6:30. So, I guess I should explain, or just mention, because I need to go quite early, quite promptly at 7, so to do the kind of outro way ahead of the end. But next week I won't be streaming, so I'll be visiting my dad. It is his birthday, so I'll be down visiting him. So there won't be any streams next week. When I come back the week after, what I think I'm going to do, I had a little bit of a think about it last night. There is a game called Little Rocket Lab, which I always keep calling Little Rocket League. It is basically, if you take if you take Factorio and like did it in Stardew Valley. So it, you know, it's sort of the answer to the question, Factorio, but what if Stardew Valley? So it has, I mean, it's called Little Rocket Lab because, you know, the aim of it is to build a rocket, just like in base Factorio. And you're mining resources. There are literally mines in the game, but more like Stardew Valley type mines. But, you know, you're mining iron and copper and making, you know, bits and pieces. It's got, you know, transport belts, manufacturing machines. But it's more in the style of, I say, Stardew Valley. And it's also set in a village, or a town, I guess. No, village. So you've effectively got, you know, the interactions, the social aspect of Stardew Valley. I played I don't know what it was, tech test demo, something like that, as soon as it came out, like earlier this year. I think they've also then done like a general demo, but it comes out on 7th of October. It's not, I'm not sponsored or anything. It's kind of like I'm promoting it, but basically, I want to play that game. And I kind of figure I might as well stream that because there's a possibility that it would be a, you know, time-consuming type game. We need a total of 26 EMPs. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, 8 rather. So we need more. We're not making more. So Got no iron sticks. Yes, so the plan basically on my thought is to stream that. Why have you stopped? Oh, because of steel again. As one of the streams that I do on the thing, I say one of the reasons I'm umming and erring about it is because I probably end up wanting to just play it myself, you know, rather than have to sort of wait for streams. But I'm also wondering whether I should do more, like, during the week, whenever I fancy it type streams, rather than fix it to this schedule. That's the other thing I'm sort of thinking about, because I find that having a concentrated block of time is really useful for doing the videos, and that's tricky when I'm doing 2-3 hour blocks of streaming on at the weekend. So that's another thing I'm thinking about. But for the time being, certainly to start when I start the game, when it tanks and nobody cares and nobody's watching, I would just take it up, away from stream anyway. But I kind of figured might as well give that a go. It is a building and management type game, so it's very much in the same vein. We're not getting any iron plate here, are we? Because it's sort of recycling. I thought I had a million billion sticks, didn't I? From destroying all the ruins. Yes, so the plan is for the schedule to switch to being Little Rocket Lab. So right. And Factorio, probably the Crashtorio 2 series rather than this one. And then if I get the desire, or Little Rocket Lab proves to be quick or something like that, then I could play this in my free time, but I'll probably just pick it up when that's done. So effectively this series will go on pause, I expect, for a little while. So that's the plan. The videos, I have done the next video I've actually done 2 of the next 3 videos in the Lore and Speculation series. That will be, the first of those will be out in 2 Fridays' time. So not this Friday, coming Friday, but the Friday afterwards. I've also, the one I've done, the other one I've done is, I'm hoping to do as the December one, but that requires me to finish the November one. If I don't manage to do that, because going away, etc., then I'll swap them round and I'll do the November one in December. November one in December, and blah 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 blah. So the reason for that is that the one that's not done is more complicated, is bigger, and it's more. I'm putting it in the same series. It's not really. It's more like changes what I would want to see for the end game. What we're kind of talking about, it's what I would have preferred the end game to be. Is kind of the subject of the video. So it's speculating, because I guess they could edit in 2.1. I wanted that to come out as like on the anniversary of the release, but it's just too big and complicated of a video to do. So yes, so Lore Speculations are pretty much done up to the end of the year, 1 a month. I will also be doing more of the quick tutorials because they're nice and easy to do. And if you want to get early access to any of those, then you can become a member on my YouTube channel. The member exclusive, that is the retrospectives, that's still going up. The video that I was doing the retrospective on was 1.5 hours, so I think you can kind of tell why I therefore have not. So that needs a load of concrete, doesn't it? Which is kind of here. Oops. Yeah, the reason I haven't done that is just literally, or it's not all ready, as it was. It's with me talking, it ends up as about 3 hours worth of stuff. So we need more steel, which of course we've got tons of. And blue circuits. Weirdly we have tons of. Feels very weird having loads of them. And why don't I put that in there like directly? Electric engines and pipes. Didn't I get this to bring me a load of... No, clearly not. I thought we had a load of electric engines. But we're obviously making them there. So I'd need... copper cable. Okay. I don't have copper? No one making copper? Copper cable? I'm trying to make into copper. Need even more pipe, don't I? Ah, there we go, there's pipe. How many do you use? 200. Oh. Why are you blowing my lights up? Don't blow my lights up. Guessing that's the artillery doing its thing. Where were we? Cables. I thought cables came directly out of... No? No. Okay. No, I'm doing that when I got a whole load of green circuits already on the belt. Just want to get another rocket siler. Where did that go? What? I only needs like 200, isn't it? Yeah. There. Okay, so we're just short of the electric engines. As I say, I thought that was the range for there. If I put one there, would that help? How many have we got? Oh, Oh, 400. Okay. Maybe pop it in here. So yeah, let's do 2 more of these. I'm thinking something down the bottom here. Right, yes, get distracted. Where are we? I blueprinted this, didn't I? So I can pick all of these up. I think fairly safely. In fact, let's just... Have you made that silo yet? No. $29. Right. Because what I don't think I brought in the rail supports and stuff. So we need like 2 of them. How much? They only like rocket stack to 1, don't they? Yeah. So we really want that just to be 2. And then how many of those do we think we need? We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So like 20-ish. Got a bit more. A rocket capacity is 5, so maybe if we bring in, yeah. Because the other stuff it should be nice and full up on. So we'll try and get it to bring us 20. I think there's enough stored up. Which way are you going? You're going from... Okay. Right. Way to leave me tank over there. Because what else are we going to need? We're going to need things like red belt. I don't think I brought any rail here at all, did I? But then we've got... Is it quicker to make the rail here? Stone, steel, iron stick. Iron stick would be a bit of farting around. But only insofar as, you know, I'm like dumping. That'll be the dumping iron plate there. We've got stone here. And obviously steel somewhere. Steel here. Oh, literally next to each other. Okay. So how about we pop in, oops, make rail. I need it to bring me inserters, really. Are you going to end up full up? It's very weird, Volgora, because it's like, because Volcanus is very bootstrapable, not difficult to do that there at all, but Volgora involves a lot of faffing around, doing all the recycling and stuff, but it's kind of like, you know, it must feel like it's easier just to import it. Then you actually want to import things like them. Don't stack very high at all, so don't really need all this ammo, I guess, do I? That's like the backup stuff. Cool. So hopefully that'll leave room. I might bring some substations with me. Long ones are sort of pointless. Cool. Am I making... I don't think I am I? I don't think I'm making lightning rods now. Okay. Where are they then? Oh, there. I need copper and steel, okay. You do get circuits out of the thing. Why are there none of those then? Oh, because they're all going to that green circuits. Okay. Do I want to kill this off? Because we've now got 400, 800, 1,000. That's why I have things stack up on belts rather than do that. Cool, okay. I'm getting confusing. I needed to put sticks in here, don't I? And actually, I didn't reach. Yeah, so I've got sticks in there. Like so. What are you missing? No. So that gets a couple hundred rail. It's gonna be, it's probably close. Let's stick some quality modules in them, don't I? Let it chug away. So what else we're going to do? We're going to need the actual locos. Don't think those are going to be easiest to make here. Am I going to build... Because they only stack to like 5, apparently. Can't see on this, is weird. So I guess we should import like 10, since that's 2 stacks. Yeah, we'll go with my theory about, or plan of maybe doing a stacker, in which case we're going to need more rail, aren't we? What's that, 260? Do we build that second silo? No, because we're running out of green circuits again. Oh, we've got stuck. Okay. much rail now? 400 and odd. Hopefully, yeah, maybe a bit more. So rail. We're going to need signals then, aren't we? Can I just make them? Green circuits again. Maybe we get a one-time import. How are you doing, Fargora Express? What you're at now, this, and I'm continuously giving you extra things to bring. It's not very good of me, is it? I think we'll get rid of the module. 1000. Because if we get rid of that module request, because that one's obviously the one that's struggling, because it'll be making something else with the speed ones. So the other stuff should be okay. What else we need? So we need stations, I guess. Only 2 of them though, so I'm sure I could make 2 stations. What am I missing? I'm missing copper to... Can I make 2 stations? I can't make any. Steel. Circuits. I can't make circuits? Oh, it's because I've only got a very, very small amount of iron. So a couple of stations. Steel boxes we should be no problem with. We've got absolutely loads of steel. If we are training... Oops. Well, I'm going to need a couple of them for the fluids. But if we are training... That's a point we are going to need like pipes and stuff. We're going to need fuel. Now this is obviously making that. I guess we could use that essentially. You know, same sort of thing. Because we've got all this heavy thing. Which is a point. Maybe I could try doing a lot more of the power from just burning. So we could, you know, burn the low density things, or rocket fuel even, rather than fill up so much space with accumulators. So it's really annoying. What I did in my other playthrough is like use like that tiny little island next door, and then just do a power cable over. And so that was full of accumulators at like level whatever. I don't want to have to fill this entire island with accumulators. I don't remember. Oops, I don't remember. Oh, I did put column ones. Phew. So what else we need? So we've got the trains on order. We've got the wagons on order. I've built the stations. We've got the signals on order. I've made a load of rail. We've got the rail support and the rail ramps. What we don't have is fast belt, if I'm going to use fast belt. What I could do... No, I need a bit of fast belt. I could probably hand make what I need. Because we can do the old, 2 yellow belts down into 1 red one. Rather than be too fussed about being full on that. Chemical plants it should have brought me. We've got the green machines. I suppose there is the whole mining drill. I mean, I've got enough foundries. There is the big mining drill question, though. do we want another stacker then? I don't think we probably do, because... Should I just nip over there? I'm trying to think of what I need to order in just for these last, few... Oh, it's 7 o'clock. I need to go. But yeah. Just so that it's sort of ready to go. Especially if I'm not going to pick this series up for God knows how long. Why did I come over here? I was going with the... Because the question is how many will actually fit on here. Oh, I did got the wrong force build. So something like that. How many is that? 12. See, 20 is probably okay then, isn't it? It's gone super bass heavy now, the soundtrack. It is all over the place. Cool. So, yes, that's it. As I say, I do need to go today fairly promptly. I mentioned about all of the stuff about I won't be streaming next weekend. When I do come back, I'll be doing a little Rocket Lab, I believe, I expect, and probably continuing the Crashtorio 2 series rather than this one. This one I might well work on, off stream, as it were. That was always the plan with that series. I guess the other thing to mention, if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube, you have the option of going to the other platform. So you can, because I use Restream, so you have your platform of choice there. However, YouTube is the one with all the VODs. And you can get this series, the Crashtorio 2 one, loads of other Factorio, as well as Tectonic, Dyson Sphere program, Satisfactory, all sorts of building and management games. If you want to follow me on socials, you can do that on Blue Sky. And YouTube is also where I have my videos. You would get early access via memberships, as well as some member exclusives. I'm doing a retrospective series on the Friday Facts. So that's everything for me for this week. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.